got some intel as to what the governing body is doing right now. They are waiting for the next big thing to happen. That's right. I know you thought otherwise, right? You said, no, they're fighting lawsuits. Yeah, they're doing that. They're trying to think of different ways to get more money from its members. Yeah, they're doing that. They're trying to think of new light. Yeah, they're doing that. But they're also trying to figure out how they're going to utilize whatever the next big catastrophe is, whatever the next big calamity, worldwide calamity is, whatever the next big pandemic is, whatever the next war is. These are the things that they benefit from. These are the things that they utilize for their benefit. Without those things, they can't scare you into staying in this organization. They can't. Without those things, they need those things. Those things keep the wheels moving. Now, here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. Oh, that's so good. When you are alive during one of the biggest transgressions on American soil, being 9/11, and I said one of them. Please don't jump in the comments talking about, well, in 1412, I said one of them. 9/11 happened, and you're alive, and they utilized that. Oh, they utilized the hell out of that one, right? We're here. We're in the last days. You see? You see what I done told you? You see what I was talking about? It's happening, right? Then 20 years later happens, right? That brought them some time, because that was a big one. So that brought them some time. There was a lot of members, a lot of Jehovah Witnesses that say, I don't care what you say, I'm going to stay, right? That's my voice in my head thinking of how they would say that to an apostate or an unbelieving or disfellowshipped family member, right? I don't care what you have to say, I'm going to stay. I don't care if it's a lie, I'm going to stay here and die. I don't care what you talking about, I ain't walking out, right? So 9/11 brought them a lot of time, right? So now here we are. COVID happens, buys them a little bit more time, but they didn't utilize COVID like I thought that they would. And the reason I believe is because a lot of their members died because of COVID. So it's like, you know, I wanted to kind of like stick my tongue out at the world and say, I told you, you know what I mean? And we weren't touched, you know, because Jehovah blessed us. No, there was a lot of people that died within your organization as well as, you know, outside of your organization, as everyone knows. So they couldn't really capitalize off of that one. But the problem is that when you're alive for two of the biggest things that happened, it would actually be the last, you know, couple of decades, right? Being 9/11 and also COVID. When you survive that, then there's a problem. People, whether consciously or unconsciously, start doubting, because it's like, where do we go from here? You know, what needs to happen that I'm actually going to say, oh, I'm scared, you know, I'm going to, you know, what's going to happen next that's going to buy you another 10 years, even 5 years? You know how big it has to be from what people been through so far? They've seen family members die. They've seen friends die. They've seen celebrities die like every week. You know, the biggest names in Hollywood. It's like, it's almost, they've become desensitized. So you can't really scare them that easily. The only thing I can think of is maybe like a UFO, like, you know, just like parking like right over America. You know what I mean? People looking up like, what are they here for? What do you think they're here for? You know what I mean? Like, that's like the next step. Anything else, maybe Godzilla or King Kong coming through or whatever, that'll buy you a little bit more time. Like, you know, I'm going to stay because things ain't going right. Godzilla is in the Hudson. King Kong is in the Atlantic. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be something to that magnitude to scare people back in line. So I would say that they're on their last leg, but at this point, I don't think they have any legs, you know? And that ties into, you know, the many men and women who fought for our country that the Jehovah Witnesses like to shun and say, oh, well, we don't acknowledge Veterans Day or any of the veterans, but you acknowledge being safe when you're sitting in your living room doing, you know, the watchtower, right? While these men and women are on the front lines, on the water, in the air, and on the ground, fighting for you to keep you safe. No, we shouldn't be fighting. We know what we shouldn't be doing. We shouldn't be doing a lot of things, but it's needed, right? We live in a world where it's needed. You ain't saying nothing about the people that fought wars in the Bible that demolished, you know, hundreds of thousands of people, right? It's just because you're reading about it that it seems different. Well, that was different. That was God behind those wars that we... Okay. How you know God ain't behind these? And I don't even want to get into those semantics. I don't even want to get into that. But it's just funny how, you know, you guys don't want to acknowledge the people that fought for you, the people that were maimed, the people that lost real legs, you know, not the legs that you lost, because you don't even have a leg to stand on in 2021 and moving forward, right? You're demolishing yourselves. You're walking on hands right now. You are walking on arms. And pretty soon those are going to be, you know, taken away metaphorically. And you're going to be rolling around on the floor. A sad sight. And then at some point, you're just going to be heads, right? You like to be the head of the congregation? Well, you're going to be heads rolling around on the floor. You know? You're going to be bobbleheads. I'm going to take Stephen Lett's head and I'm going to put it on the front of my car. So, you know, as I'm driving, he'll be... That's what I'm going to do with your head when it's all said and done. But you want to, you know, not acknowledge the veterans. Salute to the veterans that fought for us to keep us safe. And it's funny because if Jehovah Witnesses were doing whatever they're doing right now, you know, on a Zoom meeting or, you know, eventually standing next to a cardigan or going door to door, whatever they're doing at their secular jobs. And there were warplanes from the opposition, our enemies coming in. And there were ships coming in, right? And there were ground infantry or infantry. Is it infantry? Infantry coming in. They would say, what's going on? Where's our military? This is what you would say. They wouldn't say, well, you know, we're going to rely on Jehovah, just like we relied on Jehovah, or just like the people in the Bible relied on Jehovah when there was a war, you know. We're going to rely on Jehovah. No, you would say, what is the president doing? Where's our military? Right? Where's our military? Such what's the word? You'll utilize the world when you need the world, when it makes you look good, when it protects you, when it supports your demonic doctrine. You'll utilize the world. But once you're done with them, once you feel safe again, once, you achieved what you set out to achieve, then it's like, yeah, throw them away. Yeah, we don't need them no more. It's just crazy. It's crazy. But yes, the governing body is waiting for the new worldwide calamity. They're waiting for an earthquake. They're waiting for a monsoon. They're waiting for a hurricane. They're waiting for another war. Something that can buy them additional time. That's what they're waiting for. You think that, they are hoping that things just settle and there are no hiccups? No. How are they going to scare you to death? How are they going to scare their members? Doesn't work. That don't work. If you have a good run in life and things are not really shaking up, there's no real major hiccups, that's the worst thing, because when they say we are at the last day, like that, it doesn't hit right. I'll leave it there. Hopefully I didn't go on for too long. The hypocrisy, that's the word that I was looking for. Hypocrisy. They are hypocrites, a lot of them. Most of them, if not all of them, hypocrites, right? AIDS brought you a little bit of time. The Gulf War brought you some time. 9/11 obviously brought you a lot of time. COVID brought you time. What's next that can buy you time? The problem is that I just mentioned some of the biggest things that happen in modern times. So we have to ante up. Y'all gonna have to start going out and scaring people, right? Put something in the sky or something. You're gonna have to do something, because the people are becoming really desensitized to, what's happening in the world. And the end, they're like, I experienced the end. I've seen it. It happened. It was called lockdown. It was called me being in a house for a year. It was called, people dying all around me. It was called, not being able to go to work or school, or, everything being locked down, like I Am Legend out in the streets, right? Yeah, I experienced the beginning of tribulation, and then I got out of it, So now you got to throw me something a little bit different now, right? And that's the reality of it. So, as always, when I leave you with any of my posts, all I do is ask you to think, right? Not that difficult. Just think. And it's love.